new 3-cell pocket slide. Right in the rain, pin, small knife, tube light, whatever you want to put in there, really. It's short. That is exactly the right in the rain, right? The small one. That is a Blackside Customs pin. Full size pin, right? Little Sabenza. Tube light, the little tube lights we sell. I'm sure others would fit. Got it in a few colors. It's on the website. Just built these today. EDC organizers, cigar cases. We did some more knife rolls. We got the 5 and 7 cell. EDC pockets, EDC organizers, cigar cases, injectable pouches, half stand-ups, full stand-ups. Found a couple of vehicle med bags sitting on a shelf. A couple more subgun micros. I've got a active shooter bag floating around right there still. What's up, guys? How is everyone? Adam Smith, Kanzler, Newton, Peoples, what's up? Ravelli, Litz, what's going on? WebDad, Powers. A few belts finished at the end of the day. Chris, micro rigs, right? Chris, these will fit Chris and Vector, the big mags. It'll fit the P90 mags. It will also fit any of your other subgun micros. Well, any of your other subgun mags, right? It's internal mags, 6, and pals on the front, so you can put whatever you want stacked. It's Velcro retention. You're going to put a small Velcro dot on one side of your mag, and that's your retention. If you put it on both, you won't get the magazine out. It has great retention. It's the best, believe it. Everyone tells me. I have multicam black Rallyman pouches right now, ready to ship, available. Inventory is locked and correct on those. These are not online yet. They'll be online tomorrow probably. If you see the video tonight and you want one of these, hit me up. I'll make sure that you get one. Bear is giving you all types of love over stream. I haven't watched it. I watch Bear in the morning when I'm up before anyone, or when I'm in the kitchen before anyone gets here. I always, it's a time when I just have some time to myself and I don't get interrupted, and I listen to Bear there. What was he saying? We shout Bear out a lot. I talk to him every other day or so. I communicate with him just about, hey, this would interest you. Like if you talk to people, right, don't just send them a video link, right? Tell them where in the video the part of the information is. Like I'll send them a link. Hey, you were talking about this the other day. Hey, you and I spoke about this. Skip to minute 15 and just listen from there, you know? And I tell them what's there. That's how you do that. I get 100 of those a day. Not from Bear. I get 100 links a day. Most of them I never click on them. I always have the intention to. But if I listen to them, it sidetracks me from what I'm actually trying to accomplish that day. I'm assuming the new 3 pocket slide goes in the front pocket. No, you can put it in the front or the back, man. I've had it in my back pocket all day. You can put the journal piece against your butt cheek so you don't feel any of those items when you sit down. Or you can flip it around if you're worried about it printing, and then it just looks like a wallet. You can also put it in your front pocket, sure. With belt exchange policy, can you get a different belt with equal or lesser value? Not necessarily, Bill. Not necessarily. Depends what it... No, really you can't. No. Nope. You're not going to send me a used EDC belt and get back a low profile belt. You're not going to send me a low pro and get back an EDC. It's got to be the same kind of belt. And why are we going through that shit? Like if you need a belt exchange, why don't you just buy another belt if you need a different kind of belt? Like I don't bother sending, like if I order shit, unless it's Amazon, I don't send shit back. It's not worth my time. It's not worth my time to have the conversation with Amanda to take her time in sending some shit back to get, if it's under $50, I don't fuck with it. And if I bought it, Like if I buy a jacket and I don't really like it, I don't ever take that shit back. I just give it to somebody or I hold it till somebody needs it. Here's something I'm working on right here. It's a very low profile, in the pocket, 2 mags. Won't really have any retention. You'll just pull it out. It has 2 pistol mags there. It's just for carrying inside your pocket. What was the thing you just showed that had the notepad, knife, and flashlight? It is the pocket slide. 3-cell pocket slide, I think is what we named it. I shared some of what Bear said on IG and tagged you. He also just said your compound is very nice and neat and well put together. So Bear was here a couple weeks ago. We shot a video unloading the wood splitter. I have 2 or 3 videos. I don't know. I've got 11 videos up there right now. I don't know which ones are published and not. Well, I know which ones are, but I don't know what I talked about in which one. But I talked about Bear in quite a few of them videos. And I talked about him today on, I gave him a shout out on our live feed, Survival Podcast. Me, Jack, and Nicole did a podcast that went out to Living Free in Tennessee. It went out to the Survival Podcast, and it went out to all of my channels. So Bear's doing good shit. Like, I saw it firsthand. I went there, fucking saw it, saw the people that were there, saw what was going on. Like, you can say whatever the fuck you want, but all those people saying shit and questioning it, I didn't see any of you guys there. We'll just say that, because I know some of you little bitches are watching, and you won't skyline yourself and out yourself. But I noticed that none of the shit talkers were there, right? And people keep going, oh, that's so awesome. Thank you for helping those people, right? Don't thank me for doing something you're not willing to do yourself. And I don't deserve any thanks. I was able to take a trip an hour from here. That's what it was. It was an hour. And loan a piece of equipment that I owned to help some folks, you know, make their life position a little bit better, right? And that put me face to face with Bear, which is what I wanted. He was close here. There's a couple times when we've missed each other, and I wanted to meet him. And that's how I got there, right? And when I met him, there was an incredible fucking thing going on. It wasn't just Bear, but it was all happening because of Bear, right? The Grindstone Ministries. Everything they were doing would not have happened at all if it wasn't for the one man. But there was fucking 100 people there. And while I was there, there were fucking semi-trucks of equipment coming in. There were semi-trucks of materials coming in. And not a fucking piece of that, not a single piece of that would have been there without Bear. So Bear gets the fucking credit. All I did was drive up there. That's all. And I didn't even drive. Amanda drove. Will a Strider PT fit in the cell? Keith, I don't think it will. The PT is considerably wider at the back than the Sabenza. However, ask me that question tomorrow and I'll have an answer. Amanda's got a PT somewhere. Trying to decide between BBD bag and boot bag. They're two fucking completely different animals. That's like trying to decide between buying a fucking water-cooled Volkswagen and a fucking Ferrari. Do you have a BBD bag? I saw it on your website. Is it available? Philip, if you saw it on the website, I'm pretty sure there's a fucking pretty badass video there that shows you way more than I could show you right now. The only one you should be able to order, if you can even order it, did you look at the website? Is this one. It's the only one I have. It's multicam black red. It has pals on both sides. So you could stack this thing. You could, I don't know why you would, you could put 4 Rallyman mag pouches here. That would be 12 M4 mags on this side, and you could put another 12 on that side. I don't know why in the world you would do that. You could put a 3 mag shingle on one side and 2 tourniquets on the same side, and then put whatever you want on the other side. And it's fully Velcro lined. Here's the insides of it. But I can't do this one-handed, really. But we spent a lot of time and money and effort making videos of this bag. And if you go to my YouTube channel and search my channel for BBD bag, you will find some other videos that are very informative as well as funny. I love the BBD. You might not even be able to order the BBD bag, especially if she put it in the email. I'm sure somebody already bought it before you got there. The thing is, like, hey man, I want to compare this bag and that bag. I don't mind doing that. But while you're doing that, somebody else already bought your shit. And I know that's a turnoff to a lot. I get it. I fucking 100% get it. My boy just ordered a custom fucking Porsche. It ain't going to be here for 6 months. I get it. Just posted your session on locals and Slack. Thank you, Garcia. That is why I donate to Grindstone Ministries. It's real shit, man. Like you should go see it yourself. Like it's fucking pretty incredible. Like it will make you want to be a part of it. That is cheese, sir. Like the idea of the NSW, had not thought of that. Everyone hit the thumbs up. Matt Powers, 54 people here and only 42 thumbs up. And part of those 42 thumbs ups aren't here before. That means there's way more than that difference. Hit that thumbs up button. You guys are here right now. Push the thing in your hand. A Ferrari or semi. Why did y'all stop breeding snakes? Because it became a full-time job, man. Every kid loves dinosaurs, to include me. I like having the animals. I don't like having to maintain them. I was producing 100 rats a day. That's a fucking full-time job in itself, breeding rats and the level we had. I had a snake guy here who was Nicolas Cage's snake guy. He moved here from Las Vegas, lasted about 6 months. Didn't like little tiny town nowhere, right? Had another dude came over, bred, did a lot of animals. He was here for a while, and you know, he had some huge alcohol problems. Good dude, just fucking let some of my animals die and shit. He had other shit, and what was important when I hired him changed and was no longer important. So I had fucking thousands of animals that all of a sudden I had two people. We bought animals. Like I had a pretty nice, you know, curated high-end collection. And I put a lot more money into it because these guys were here in order for them to have full-time jobs. Because really, doing the animals is not a full-time job. It is really about 3 hours of real work per day. And most of it is doing dishes and taking out trash, right? But I'd go in my snake trailer and the trash would just be on the floor. All the bedding would be on the floor. The shedding would be on the floor. Why would you just throw that on the floor and not just fucking have a bin that you just move with your foot along? Just stupid shit, right? So they're gone, and then I had a bunch of animals, and that became a fucking full-time job in itself. So I just stopped doing it. Yeah, the emerald boas were beautiful. The green tree pythons were awesome. I had some great fucking green tree pythons. I had very good stock. 3-cell slide, you'll like it, man. And if what you're gonna put in it doesn't fit, you'll find something to put in it. I promise you, every dude on here has a desk drawer or a shoebox or a safe door full of just stuff you have accumulated, right? I know that somewhere I have a box of multi-tools, literally an entire box of multi-tools. I haven't found it yet. It's probably sitting in front of me right now. So we all acquire and procure stuff, right? You have something that will fit in that slide. I have the shingle for mine. I was trying to figure out what to put on the side, and I think just solved it for me, Psalm. I don't know what Psalm said. Sounds like a good loadout. I like the idea of the NSW. So an NSW admin, put a 3-mag. Are we talking about on the BBD bag? On the BBD bag, you have 8 columns there, right? So a 3-mag shingle, that takes 6. You have 2 empties. Put tourniquets there. Put a single mag, so you've got 4 even mags there. Put mesh pockets in the inside. You could put a large or 2 smalls on both walls. I like the smalls. I don't really care anything long enough or big enough that requires it to go in the large pocket. And I find that when I put shit in the large pocket, it just kind of gets lost. I like to have 4 small pockets. And they're not really small. Mag card. So Scully loaded his out. He put 4 M4 mags on inside one wall, a 1911, a Surefire flashlight, and 2 mags on the other wall. And then to keep that stuff from banging, he took a Pals-backed large mesh pocket and stuck it in the middle and keeps different shit in there. And that just keeps those things from touching. And it fills the bag perfectly. You don't look at it and think, oh, gun bag. Will the day pack side pouches work well on a diaper bag as side pouches? Yeah, I think they will. Yeah, I think they will. Can anybody answer that? Does the diaper bag have 4 columns or 3 columns? And does the day pack have 4 columns or 3 columns? I honestly don't remember. Jet boil pouches will fit on there too, also. Now Nalgene pouches will fit. Would I be all right if you shared self-reliance on LinkedIn? Empty. Yes, I would be. Absolutely. Why would I not be? Everybody always feels like they have to ask a question when you're doing somebody a favor. Yes, please share it. Everybody, please share Self-Reliance Expo, whether you're going or not. You will meet people there. It's a trip when you come take a class at TAC Response, right? Or you come to one of my events. People always meet people who literally live 10 minutes away from them that they never would have met had they not been at one of these events. It's a trip that you have to travel hundreds of miles to meet somebody that lives next door. Order another micro rig, finally got AK and need to have dedicated setup. Right on. I don't have one. I have some left-handers. You can look on the website, see what's available. There are no right-handers currently. There are lefts. The rig is only 13 inches across. And for all you right-handers that are like, I can't use a left-hand rig, we didn't make a left-hand rig for the first 5 years. Every left-hander used a right-hand rig the first half of a decade that we made those. My dogs are going off. Front and back, both sets are going off. There's some critter out there. But it's not the, I'm going to eat a person bark. It's a different bark. Probably a deer. If I go, can I light up that 20-foot bonfire that you have on your property? No. If we light it, you can assist in lighting it. I don't know whether we'll light it. We'll see what the weather looks like. It's a shame to burn a brush pile that big when we can wood chip it. But then again, it hasn't been wood chipped either. So yeah, we might light it. Who knows? It's just going to depend on what the mud is like at that time. If it's cold and frozen, we will light the bonfire, probably. I met a bunch of great guys when I took fighting pistol a couple of years ago, really hoping to get back. Yeah, there's a bunch of guys coming that will have, a lot of guys coming will have been through TAC response classes. A lot of guys come and have really big, way bigger YouTube channels than we have. There's people coming from all kinds of different industry. The whole prepper thing, right? You don't have to be like a tactical gear industry guy or a gun company to be that guy. Some of them are doctors, some of them are lawyers, a lot of them are millionaires. Some of them own major construction companies, which means when you become friends with those guys, they will help you do shit. You'll meet a lot of people that make meat. You will find people, and if they're not from your area, they know somebody from your area that will make meat. They will turn cows into steaks. Thank you, Philip. Is it worth having a deep freezer if you have a freeze dry? Yeah, absolutely, Travis. You freeze dry meat because you want to preserve it for 30 or 40 years. And we freeze, the reason I freeze dry shit is because if I'm eating that freeze dry shit, the power is probably off or not reliable, in which case all that meat in the freezer, You got maybe a week's window before you have to eat it or feed it to animals. Because when the power's off, and when the power goes off, most of you guys don't realize those little generators you have, they won't run those freezers. I have big commercial freezers. My big fucking 7,500 watt generator won't run this commercial freezer. Ask me how I know. Because the power went out and we couldn't run it. And it wasn't just the plug wouldn't fit, right? It's not just a 20 amp. It won't do it. And it definitely won't do all 3 big ass freezers that I have. Just different applications, man. Different applications. And your old meat that goes freezer burned, if you have dogs, that's dog food. And if your meat goes freezer burned, it's because you used a shitty vacuum sealer. If you buy a commercial vacuum sealer, your meat will last years in the freezer. No freezer burn. With a combination of a good bag and a chamber vacuum sealer. You will find multiple uses for cigar pouch. I don't smoke, but I'm going to order another cigar pouch. You'll find all kinds of uses for them, man. You absolutely will. They make, it's just a bigger zippered knife pouch. It literally is the zippered knife pouch, considerably wider. That's what it is. Great live stream. Thanks, Freedom. Don, what's up, buddy? Clave, how are you? Cigar pouch, injectable pouch make me kind of want to smoke, inject, just so I can justify. You use them for a lot of different shit, man. Art supplies would be great. It'd be great for a little fucking sketch kit or map for like art, reconnaissance, and surveillance, right? Just that notepad, right? What side are the hinges on? When do the street lights come on and off? What walkers cross this direction every day at what time? When does the mailman run his route? Is FedEx here before the mailman? Who comes through here with a dog that might be a threat? What time do the windows come on? What time do the lights come on and off? Are they automated or are they turned on and off by people? Meaning if a light is on, could it be a person forgot to turn it off rather than somebody is there and that is why the light is on, right? Sketch kit. You can use them for, I mean, you'll have 100 different uses that we could all come up with right now. 9,500 watt. No, Freedom, because it's a big 220, and it has dual compressors in it. So you're not just kicking on one; you have to kick them both. It wouldn't do it. It would do a big, like Generac, you know, a big diesel or grid tie. It would probably do that, but it wouldn't fire these things. I invested in a PTO generator to go behind the tractor. That's a great investment. The reason I haven't done it is because you have to run the tractor to do it. I like to have all my shit separate, right? You can buy a winch from Warren that has an air compressor built in. I don't want both things in one, right? Just like components. I want component system for my audio video stuff, right? So if one thing goes down, everything's through a giant monster power management system. You can do a lot of things, and I'm not saying you shouldn't. That's probably great for you. It's just like I can get a pretty badass wood chipper to go with my skid steer, right? But it's not that badass. You still have to physically put the stuff in it, and it has to be pretty straight. And that's just putting more hours on my tractor. Like, we use my tractor more for a dump truck than I do a skid steer, right? I call it a tractor. I know it's not a tractor for you guys that don't know. I have a commercial tracked skid steer. And we use it more as a fucking powered wheelbarrow. We use it as a dump truck. And we put all the wear and tear, most of the wear and tear that's on that thing is just because we don't have a dump truck. We would be way better off financially to buy a $7,000 dump trailer and pull it around with the four-wheelers or a small truck than to put the hours on the skid steer. And especially if you have a lease. Mine's not a lease. I bought the skid steer. But if you lease it, then you're locked in and obligated by hours, right? Dumb question. What do you farm the rabbits for? Meat. Meat. It's meat on the hoof. Rabbits are highly scalable, right? We can store rice and beans. We can grow calorie crops, right? You can grow protein. It is way easier to store calories, but your protein, unless it's freeze-dried, is going to go bad. And we have been freeze-drying. We do freeze-dry protein, right? Chicken breast mostly, because it goes with everything, and you'll be glad to have it when you don't have it. But rabbits, you can take one rabbit and one boy rabbit, one girl rabbit. You put the girl rabbit in the boy rabbit cage, and 30 days later, literally almost to the 24-hour cycle, she will have babies. And 5 weeks later, you could eat those babies. Or you could put them out on your yard on grass and clover and let them go a couple more weeks, and they will double in size. I consider it, all the animals I have, I consider it having meat on the hoof, meaning it's not in the freezer. If the power goes out, I have all that protein up the hill. If the power doesn't go out, I have all of the meat in the freezers and refrigerators. It's just meat on the hoof. Plus, I have really, really big dogs. And we use the rabbit meat for dogs. We use chickens for dogs. So or you could trade for it. I can give it to other people so they can start their breeding programs. There's a lady up the road. Her husband died a year ago. I'm going to go up there and talk to her and her grandson. I know she used to cook rabbits and squirrels all the time when her husband would hunt, and I'm going to offer her my rabbits. Like, I don't need anything for it. Do you want a rabbit? I'll bring you one every week. I'll bring it dead or alive. She'll probably be like, bring it alive, I'll kill it. And they're easy to have, right? Every kid, I think, probably had a rabbit when they were a child. Pelletized feed's expensive. So that's our next question, right? If the power goes out, because that's what I like to plan for, the power going out, because that's the ultimate, right? Short of zombies. Because when the power goes out, if you can manage whatever it is you need to manage with the power out, that's a whole nother level, right? So if you prepare for that, right, then you don't sound crazy. I'm getting ready for the zombies, or I'm getting ready for the Russians, right? Power goes out. How'd the power go out? We don't care how the power went out. It doesn't matter for this conversation. If the power goes out, you're not getting pelletized feed. I have about a month worth of feed on hand at any time for all of the livestock here. We are planting 1,000 different fodder trees, 3 different kinds, 1,000 trees, and we're building rows, hedgerows. They'll look like hedgerows from the drone. They're very tight. You won't be able to walk through them. It's willow, hybrid poplar, and mulberry, white mulberry. They will never grow mulberries because when they get to about 4 or 5 feet, we chop them down. And then you take that and you can feed it right to your animals. You can also store it in big 70, 100-gallon trash bags, and you just sprinkle a little salt and sugar, and it starts to ferment, and it makes silage. You can feed it to cows, goats, sheep, rabbits, ducks, chickens. You can feed it to everything we have. And that means no pelletized food. And the feed protein conversion ratio is 30% or better on silage and just the raw good. Whereas your pelletized feed, you might get 18% protein conversion. Amazingly prepped for when shit hit the fan. How did the compound take you to achieve? It's not done. I have a lot of people in and out. I have people that want to come and be a part of it, and some stay and some don't stay. There's a lot going on here that you don't see on the videos. We have people in and out of here that we can't show on camera. I'm lucky to have people around. I definitely didn't do it myself. The first few years, we did a lot by ourselves, just Amanda and I. But I think we've been here now 6 years. It's still nowhere near done. We have a $500,000 build out on the property, and we just never even finished it. Like, the floors upstairs are still like plywood. It's not plywood, it's something, I don't know what it's called. It's a building system. I have $80,000 in materials that we've never even placed down, tile and hardwood and all kinds of shit. I don't care. I just lost interest, right? I always said I would be totally stoked to live in a tent and have a nice garage. And most drawbacks to most of that is, right, guys' drawback is their woman. Their woman won't live in a garage. And I'm super lucky that mine doesn't care where we live. Like we had a huge beach house, a huge lake house. When you cross the bridge and look across, the biggest house on the lake, we had that house. It was 3 stories high. It was 6,000 square feet. I had 3 rooms in my house that were empty. Like I didn't even store anything in them. My basement was fucking bigger than this, so everything was in the basement. And it walked out. We had our own boat dock. We went kayaking and fishing. Never were we in the house more than 24 hours. Even on Christmas, we left the house. We had this giant house. Between Amanda, myself, and Cody, we spent 3 man-hours driving back and forth to work. We got rid of the house. We spent a lot more time here and saved that put 3 man-hours of work every day. We built tiny houses on the property. And I've got everything I want. I have a full fucking gym right here. Amanda gets up in the morning at 5:30 and works out every morning. The employees use the gym if they want to. We can ride razors here on the property. We had a full-on motocross track with double jumps and shit. And that's kind of turned into more food production when all the COVID stuff happened. The focus changed from play to utility. Like we still have all the razors and all the motorcycles and all that shit. They just kind of got pushed into corners, and all the utility shit was more the focus. And that's still the focus, right? Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And I kind of do that on my own, right? I look at it as I have a $4,500 freeze dryer. If there's not food in it, then it's not making me money, right? If you have the freeze dryer and it's not running, why is it not running? Chicken is inexpensive. You buy chicken breast, you cut it into cubes, you brown it in a pan, you put it on the fucking freeze dryer, right? And then the freeze dryer runs for 36 hours, 48 hours, depending what's in it. How long did it take you you're at the store anyways, so buy the chicken, cut it up, brown it, put some taco seasoning on it. That's what? Reality, maybe 20 minutes? You're in the kitchen bullshitting, right? How long are you on your phone? How much time do you waste on your phone? I waste hours a day on my phone. Hours. So put on an audiobook, put on YouTube, whatever, put your earbuds in, chop up the chicken, put it in the freeze dryer. We just ran a huge batch, 3 giant cuts of meat. They were huge. I sliced them up last night, about a 1/2 inch thick. Amanda put them, 2 nights ago I sliced them up. Amanda put them in some seasoning in the refrigerator in 3 big, huge Rubbermaid containers. And then we took it out. She put them on the trays this morning, probably about 7 o'clock. And we pulled them out of the dehydrator maybe an hour, 2 hours ago. And it's a big tub of beef jerky. It's delicious. We make it pretty often. When we go out on trips on the weekend, that's what we eat. Like we won't even eat a meal on the weekend until probably noon. We just snack on beef jerky until then. And it's all made right here. I want to live in a 5th wheel and have nice garage and some land. Wife even likes the idea. Totally doable, Byron. Totally doable. You put the 5th wheel in the garage, it'll be a lot more temperature stable. 5th wheels are not typically insulated great. They're definitely not protection from anything other than rain. The thing that ruins and destroys trailers and 5th wheelers faster than anything is UV light, sunlight. So if you could put it under a carport and keep the sun off of it, that would be a huge help. But you could put it in the garage. But I would hate having a 5th wheeler in this garage. It would take up 1/3 of the floor space. But doable, right? Totally doable. Tear off IFAC a couple years ago. Could I swap it for a compact tear off or something? No. Are you saying you have one on order? No, we can't. I don't have a way to do it. And here's not the play. I can't help you here. Find your confirmation email and reply to it, and we will have the conversation. And you might even find that the answer is different, not on a live broadcast. Because when somebody asks me to do something for them, 500 other assholes ask the same question. But the more pressing question is, why have I not heard from you already today? I use eye of round for my jerky. Clave, I don't know what we used. Rump steak maybe? I don't know what it was. Are you growing and crops that you can process sugar out of? I do not have any. Sabbath, what's up, man? Sabat. I do not have, I have sweet potatoes, I guess. Like, we don't have yams. I don't have cane. I don't have anything like that. I have buckets full of sugar. Carport on the side of the garage is my thought. Absolutely, Brian. So this building runs this way, right? It's 65 feet wide. And I have shipping containers out here, but my intention, my plan eventually, is to continue this roof line out to the shipping containers so that when you drive through here, it's undercover. And what that'll do is that'll give us a lot of covered area to work outside with, but it'll also give us covered area from the sun or weather just to put stuff. Now this building here, I want to say it's 165 feet long. I think that's what it is. I have an entire another building kit that will be a lean-to. So what it does is it ties into this wall right here, but it's taller. So this wall is 14 feet. It's like 16 feet on the outside, and we did that so that it has a higher pitch, and it runs 35 feet out. So it's 35 by 165 or whatever. It works out to 5,000 square feet. So we're adding 5,000 square feet. We're adding half of this building, basically, to this entire side of this building. And that's all concrete. That's all, pillars, 4x4x4, rebar, reinforced pillars. The building kit that's going onto this building is actually considerably stronger than this building is. Jehovah's Witness knocking on your area. No, we haven't seen, nobody comes here, man. You can't even get to this door. You have to go over 2 gates to get here and through 2 different sets of dogs. One set of dogs is going to bark at you viciously. The other set of dogs is literally going to try to kill you. You can't see the building from the road. So if you come knocking on this door, you're going to, before you even get to this building, other people are going to meet you that are not going to be pleased with you. They're not going to at all be friendly with you if you show up on the property. Like, you've already really committed several crimes to even get within sight of the building. Things are very different out here than in the cities. Try it with pepperoni. We used the Excalibur dehydrator on pepperoni, and it came out awesome. Like pepperoni potato chips is what it's like. Currently looking for property and suggestions on fully wood, pasture, or a mix. Most of what I find is mostly wood, which is not against just more work. It's a lot more work. How are you going to do it, and what kind of wood is on it? Wood is really not a lot of value to you unless it is hardwood, and most people selling property have already cut the wood. A lot of people buy big tracts of land, log it, break it up into smaller pieces, and then sell it and make exactly what they paid and still profited all the hardwood off of it. You need wood because it gives you shade. You need some shade in order to grow some things. But then again, if you're buying a piece of property, how are you going to clear it? Do you have a tractor? Do you have a bush hog? Do you have the means to do it? Do you have the manpower? Or are you just going to kind of go on there, clear a little clearing, put a tiny house in there or a trailer, and go out and work on the week? Totally doable, man. People do it. It's just what you're willing to do. A lot of people have these grand ideas, but before they realize it, 3-4 years have gone by and they haven't done anything. They've accumulated a bunch of trash. Nomadic American Indians had dogs for food. Dogs were a herd animal that would follow the tribe and provide security until they were needed for food. Right on, man. Right on. I had that conversation today. I do not have an emotional attachment to any animal on this property. They are pets until they're not pets. They're not really pets. Like my dogs don't come inside. My dogs don't even have names. They have numbers. Like that's how serious I am about it. I definitely prefer pasture because at minimum you can make some extra money if you bale and sell. Only if the pasture is of grass that they want. Somebody has to have come through and seeded it. It has to be planted. It has to be fucking, prepared. There's some doing to it. Yes, you can lease it out, but then you have some dude there. And when you want to go through there and make trails or whatever, that also becomes an issue. So just be aware of that. Having grass is great though. Like I can't have cows here because I don't have grass. I could have a couple of cows here, but we would have to bring all the feed inputs in. Temp was 160, first batch was 3.5 hours, second was 4. Probably clear out 1 or 2 acres, have access to a couple of tractors with front loaders. So Travis, the fastest way to do it, because you have to add up fuel and you have to add up wear and tear on the tractor. And a 35 horsepower tractor, while yes, you can do it, it's fucking miserable. And when you, like, let's just say you're renting equipment, right? You rent a small skid steer, right? It is actually cheaper to pay more money, rent the big skid steer with a forestry mulcher and just do a couple of acres in a day with a forestry mulcher. When you're done, you're gonna have just a field of wood chips. And that wood chip is gonna over time rot down and build soil. And until it does that, it's going to protect all the soil that was underneath there. Whereas if you come through and clear cut and you cut it and drag it all out, there's nothing protecting that soil, and the sun bakes it, and then you lose that topsoil over time, unless you plant it with something. There's 100 ways to do the exact same thing, but it just comes down, like when we started doing this property, I didn't have money to bring in real tractors, and I definitely didn't have money to buy real tractors. So a forestry mulcher, if you hire a dude that comes in and does it, they'll charge you so much per acre or whatever. If you make friends with that dude, he'll come out and help you for fucking a 6-pack maybe. But if I bought, like, man, if you have a skid steer and a mini excavator, you don't need nothing else. We need to add onto your building above and below ground. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. What did that comment just say? Hold on. Yep, you have to manage it though, but you can bale and sail a weed patch as cow hay where I live. You can't hear. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can. I'm just going back reading these comments. There's a ton of them. I haven't seen all of them. So if you ask something and I didn't address it, just repost it. Hey, what are you doing? I'll eat your soul. Did you see troop deployments going to Europe? Yeah, I mean, I see them scrolling through YouTube, and people send me 20 videos about it. But, I mean, who's going to Europe? The United States is going to Europe? Of course, there's some shit they don't want you paying attention to. Remember when fucking Biden went over and talked to Putin? How do you think that conversation went? Hey, you go ahead and do this over here in Crimea, and we'll pretend we're mad about it, and then I'll send some dudes over here, and you send some more dudes. You go ahead and do whatever you want to do in the Ukraine, and we'll just pretend, right? Because I need people to watch this other shit instead of my son, Hunter Biden. And I'm doing some shit also because we're worried that they're going to drag me out of the White House. So we're building a wall around while we do this tyrannical shit. But I want to kind of take the eyes off the COVID stuff and the lockdowns while we're going to start, fucking confiscating guns and stuff. So we're going to pretend war. Do you think maybe that's what's happening? I mean, we've only done it for like 50 years with Russia. Could that be it? Casamigos, tequila. I love it, dude. Love it. I like all three of them. I like Tres Amigos too. I see an attachment, the cat. I would eat the cat in no problem. I would have that cat as a fucking hat. I'd wear it under my beanie and use the fucking warmth layer. Yeah, I like the cat while he's here. But fucking we can definitely get rid of the cat. I've lived 49 years without a cat. I'm sure this is a distraction. Take people's minds off the economy. Just think about this, right? How much time do we, just us, right, spend talking about Russia and shit like that and things that might happen, right? Imagine if you spent that time just making products every week and making a couple of new products once a week, right? If you just spent those few hours designing a product that you don't currently sell to draw eyes, some of which will buy the new product, but to draw eyes to your social media and your platforms that sell products, and you would see a spike in sales, right? What if it was just the day you launched that shit, whatever the new item is, you made $5,000 every time you made some simple new item every week. Instead of talking about Russia, you did something for a couple hours during the day that made you $5,000 every time you did it. Do you know what the tractor payment is on a $75,000 skid steer? If you put 20 grand down, you know what the payment is? Payment is $1,000 a month. If you're making 5 grand every week or every couple days when you put out a new product, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You just have to use your time and decide how you're going to use your time. I love talking about all the conspiracy theory shit because it's not really fucking theory anymore. It's fucking conspiracy truth, right? All the heinous shit they're doing to us, I love talking about it. It gives us talking points. It draws eyeballs. When I do these videos, and the video like I did today with Jack and Nicole, I didn't try to sell you anything. I just need fucking 10 people to subscribe to my channel. And I only need one of them to fucking buy the shit that I sell. Honestly, I don't have a TV or computer, but I'm sick of chasing paper money con game. Well, unfortunately, you don't have to. You can go live like fucking Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, and if that's you, you can be totally happy. I'd like to have that little fucking Unabomber shed on the back corner of my property while I live in the mansion on my property. And if the power goes out, we'll move out into the little trapper shed. But until then, I want to live as fucking comfortably and do everything I can and make as much money. Money don't buy happiness. Nope. But I've never seen a motherfucker jump off a jet ski without a big ass smile on his face. Money doesn't buy happiness, but the shit it buys sure fucking helps with happiness, and it makes fucking things a whole lot more fucking comfortable when things aren't comfortable for people. Go watch the interview. I don't know what we're talking about. What interview? Okay, are you getting ready to eat? I like it. Meat on the hoof. Why do people not eat cats? I guess they do, though. They eat mountain lion. And Michael Turner, that might not have been at all what you meant, right? Tired of chasing the dollar. I am all about you doing literally whatever you want to do, man. And be completely happy and supportive of whatever it is you want to do. If it doesn't affect me in any negative manner, fucking more power to you, man, until it takes away from me. Oh, Jack and Nicole, yeah. It buys entertainment. It does buy entertainment. It does buy entertainment. It also buys a lot of shit that will make your life more comfortable if things go bad. Kitty casserole, I like it. I build camper vans as a side hustle. We've designed and sewn up a bunch of soft goods to fit Sprinter vans. We are thinking about putting them in production. Are the margin and times worth it? I'm not the guy to ask, man. I'm a terrible businessman. I can tell you that you won't find a cut and sew shop to make anything for you, and the magic number is 300 when you find one. So can you sell 300? So the real question is, do you like building that shit enough that you're willing to do it instead of doing whatever else you're going to do on the weekend? My magic number, hey, will you build me something custom? I'm like, yeah, PayPal me, friends and family, so it's non-refundable and you can't ever dispute it. PayPal me $1,000. What? $1,000. That's what it costs to get me to sit here for half the day on Saturday instead of go to do what I want to do with my wife. And I had to raise that price over and over because when you say it, for every 10 dudes, there's one that will pay it. And you're like, shit, I should have charged more. And I've literally raised that number to the point where I think they won't take it, and they always take it. So I just tell them no now. There is all, for every dude grumbling that something's too expensive, there's 10 dudes that will quietly send you the money and be more than happy to pay whatever you ask. You just have to connect with the right customers. So if you want to sell that shit, you need to go to Overland Expo and see how many people are there doing the same thing you're doing and see if they're doing it better than you're doing it or how you can improve it. And then realize that the people at the Overland Expo are only 10% of the industry. I don't build Overland gear because even though the Overland guys are doctors and lawyers with fucking $250,000 Sprinter vans, my shit still costs more than everybody else making Overland gear. I have plenty of customers that use my stuff for Overland. I bought Toyota trucks just so we could use those hashtags. When we made videos with Toyota trucks driving over our tool bags and throwing tool bags and throwing fucking cinder blocks on our tool bags, the dealership I bought the trucks from shared it, and then Toyota shared it. I have 2.5 million views on several of my videos that include Toyota trucks. That's why we're brand loyal, and I continue to buy Toyota trucks. So literally for the sole purpose that we could go to the Overland Expo and sell products we already made to rich guys with Toyotas and Jeeps and Sprinter vans. But I'm not in that industry. Rich guys that do that shit just happen to like my product, some of them. And some of them fucking hate me and don't buy my product and buy some other shit. Yeah, it's perception of value. You've lost work because you didn't charge enough. It's perception of value. That's how I buy electronics. Which DVD player or CD player or phonograph record player, which one costs the most? Why does it cost the most? It's perception of value. Nowadays, you can go buy a DVD player for $35. They used to be 100, and then there were 300, and there were 500. The difference was the chassis, right? It had more springs. It was heavier. It was made of metal instead of plastic. It said Denon on the front, right? Or Kenwood, or Nakamichi, right? And then when you listen to it and you look at it on the sine waves and stuff, it did shit that you couldn't even hear. But it had more lights, right? How many of you guys bought a VCR player and never set the clock? You always bought the more expensive one that would record and not just play because it fit in your rack and it matched all the other size components you had. But you didn't ever buy just the VCR. You didn't ever buy just the VHS tape player because it looked funny. You paid a lot more money and bought the one that always had the blinking light that you never set the light. It's perception of value. Toyota's the best. You're not going to get another more dependable vehicle. Maybe. But Toyota plays it safe. It's bullshit that you pay $65,000 for a fucking truck and it doesn't have a heated steering wheel. If you buy a Ford Raptor, it fucking stomps the shit out of the Tacoma or the Tundra in loaded features. It's just, that's a fact. But I wanted Toyota products. I bought Toyota products. But my boy's F450 is way fucking nicer than my trucks. And he didn't even do any shit to it. Toyota always has the capability. They just don't give it to you for 4 or 5 years later. lived in a 38-foot fifth wheel 10 years, then made the mistake upgrading to a 31 high-end Class A diesel pusher the last 8 years, going back to the fifth wheel. The pusher seems like a nice deal, though. I mean, fucking, some of them are luxurious. They have hot tubs and shit in them. Because we've been led to believe eating domesticated house cats is taboo. Yeah. Why can't you eat house? Why can't I go to a restaurant and get dog on the menu? If there was a restaurant in Nashville that had weird shit to eat, I'd go eat there every day. I'd eat monkey. I'd eat fucking cat, dog, possum, rat. I'd order every fucking thing on the menu and try it. I like quality products, but I quit buying the fancy and new hotness stuff. Right on. Instead, you build fucking $500,000 buildings underground. Toyota's claim to fame is their motor and transmission. Yeah, I haven't had any problems with my truck. I drive it in every 5,000 miles, and the Star Wars doors go, they literally make that sound. And I drive in, and they're like, hello, Mr. Willis. Will you be staying here or will you be leaving? I'm like, hey, I'm in town from 2 hours away. I'm going to go across the street and eat breakfast, like it says in your computer. You're going to do mine absolutely next. I don't ever say that dick shit, but it says in their computer that the minute I walk in, they take care of my vehicle because I know the owner. And when they say, when we talk to them and I'm like, hey, I need to bring the vehicle in, they're like, we don't have any appointments. I send a text message and then I get a fucking email back that says, hey, we have an appointment just opened up for you. What time would you like to come in? Anytime. And that's why I do business with Toyota. And I go across the street to First Watch and I order some waffles or breakfast tacos or whatever. I sit there with Amanda, and before we're even halfway done eating, I get a text message, your truck is done. Always. Barely made it. Was finishing Spearcoat podcast. All right, guys, I'm going to start turning this shit off here. Last minute comments, anything you want to talk about, product you want to see, ask if we have, whatever. Got a few minutes here. Do that now. Had nothing but problems with my American-made vehicle. I will buy a Toyota. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. I spend more money on vehicles, well, it doesn't matter. The Toyotas have been great, man. I have not had a single problem with any of my Toyota products. And any I've gotten away from, I just traded for another one. And everything's holding its value right now, though. I mean, I could take any of my Toyotas in there and they will write me a check for more than I fucking paid for them right now. Man, I got too many light switches in this place. Black Rallyman pals, no pistols. I'll buy 4 if you. I think they're online right now, are they not? Are you not on our email list? I thought they went out in email today. I've got multicam black ones for sure, because I just saw a bunch. You mean, no, these ones are belt. Okay, these are belt. Just sit tight, man. They're coming. I've got DA Gen 2s. Here's Rallyman Black with pistols. Here's Rallyman DAs. They're coming, dude. I know you're a watch guy. Looking back, you wish you'd have bought a Rolex. Fuck yeah, I do. I wish I'd have bought 20 Rolexes. Hell yeah. I bought a Rolex for a friend of mine. It was 10 grand. I'll bet we could sell it right now for 16 grand. They hold value. They always go up in value. They've never gone down. It's just for the amount of money I'm spending, I want a bigger fucking watch. And I'm kind of over that. Like a lot of the watches I wear right now are a smaller faced watch. Freeze-dried chocolate cake yet? Nope, but we have chocolate cakes for you guys. We have cheese for you. You're going to eat this? Whoever thinks, oh man, freeze-dried cheese. When you taste it, you're going to be like, holy fuck, I want some more of that. Yeah, I bought one for Mookie. D2 were made. I don't know what that is. Rallyman's with an email. Multicam are fine. Multicam are. I'm going to put an order in on boot bag. Boot bag's easy. Boot bag's easy. Order the color you want. If you're worried about it in a hurry, put, hey, I'll take whatever color's closest. Put that in notes. I have a lot. Here, I'll turn the light back on so we can look. My entire right nostril is stuffed up. Boot gaiters with mag pouches, knife scabbard would be cool. It'd be cool for fucking Laura Croft. I mean, with her fucking vagina lips hanging out, her titties bouncing around, it'd be awesome. Would they stay up? Like, that's a real question. I don't know the answer to that. Would they stay in place? Black Rallymans. I feel like we just fucking built those things. I don't see any here either. Hey, Black Rallyman guy, send me a an email like right now. Send me an email when we get off of here. I think I've seen an email or a PM from you. Hit me up. We'll make that happen. I'm not going to have them. I'm going to let you pre-order them, and then they'll fucking cut them and build them in the next, I don't know when, but not too long. The freeze-dried cheese is really good. Still buying silver. I buy silver here and there. I buy crypto still. I'm still buying Bitcoin. Anybody wants Bitcoin, you should buy it right now. It's down. It's still going to go down a little. But when it goes down, when it finally goes down, it's going to jump up pretty high. That's what always happens. Bitcoin is way low right now. You should buy Bitcoin. I know kids buying Bitcoin that aren't doing shit I'm telling fucking grown-ass adults to do. And when I buy silver, I only buy tubes, right? If I'm paying shipping, I'm buying 20 rounds or more. I don't buy this and that. I want them fucking stacked in tubes, ready to move if I need to move them. Black DA Gen 2s were made, yes. Gun, yeah, you guys can't go wrong with guns and ammo. It's not ever going down in price. It's a better investment than gold is. Gold is not, you don't look at, it's a store of wealth, right? It's so that you don't lose money. You don't lose value. Best place to buy Bitcoin? Fucking anywhere you want. But the easiest place to buy it is Cash App. It'll take you 2 minutes to set up an account. You're going to link a bank account or a debit card to it. You're going to put money on there, or you're going to have people pay you through Cash App, and then you're going to convert that. And it's literally 2 clicks. You're going to click, you're going to put in your PIN, and you're going to have Bitcoin. And the beauty of it is you're going to watch Bitcoin go up and down every day. You're going to learn how it works, and you're going to get comfortable with it. And then you hit the graph overall, and you hit the graph year, month, and day, week and day, and you're going to see how it changes. Every time it goes down, it always goes way higher. Always. John, when we buy Bitcoin, we kill our other transfer money? I don't know what that means. Yeah, you don't have dollars anymore. You traded dollars for Bitcoin. Do I think I'll buy more property? Yes. Yes. I also think that we are going to work some lease and rental deals on property for usage so that we can do some larger animals. Second choice on crypto, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you what cryptos I have right now. I have Bitcoin. Most of it's in Bitcoin. I have Hex. I have some other thing that Hex just launched, right? So I've got some of that stuff. Ethereum. I have Ethereum. The dollar is dead. The thing with Bitcoin, right? All these guys that are like, well, when the computers go down, crypto's of no use. I get it. When the computers go down, your fucking dollar's of no use too. You've got way bigger problems than fucking currency at that point. But you have fucking countries around the world that are using Bitcoin in lieu of the US dollar. Like, you have a lot, like 38 Central American countries that just said you can use Bitcoin as currency. And when it's currency, it's not a taxable event. That means you pay Pedro and Pedro pays Pablo and he pays Jose. The government doesn't take a cut out of it. And all of your hedge funds and all of your big pension funds, they are all put their money into Bitcoin and different cryptos. They ain't getting rid of that shit. They're trying to figure out how to steal some of it from you. What Toyota to come out with a 3/4 ton 4x4 with extended cab? Are you asking me or telling me or you want them to? If I was buying another truck right now, man, I'd probably buy a big Dodge. And I'd set it up like a utility truck, right? Like the big construction trucks or the big farm trucks that carry fuel and tools and all that shit. I would set it up like a chase truck. NFL players getting paid you have municipalities, major cities offering to pay their people in Bitcoin, pay their employees in the United States. I was offered Bitcoin for $3. Buy as much as you want, and boy, was I dumb. We all have a friend like that, man. We all know the guy that invented the paperclip or WD-40, right? Everybody's met that dude. And they're still talking about it 20, 30 years later. They're stuck on it. New tax laws, all crypto or Apple Pay only fans is taxed. Now, new, its agent to chase it. Yeah, they hired 75,000 new IRS agents. What you're seeing happening is the Hunger Games. You have us and you have them. And rich people's kids, super elite, wealthy people's kids, have no concept of how things are made or how wealth is gained. They just were born into it. They have no fucking clue what it's like to be stopped by a police officer or have to pay an electric bill. They don't have any concept of it. And that's the elites in the Hunger Game with their crazy costumes and their crazy food, right? That is literally what they want to do. That's what the Agenda 2030 shit is. Every time they have a riot and they burn down all these towns and all these old structures, right? They just did that in 5, 6, 7 cities, major fires burnt out these towns, right? Do you know that they wouldn't let them remove the debris and start to rebuild without applying for a permit? And they can't apply for the permit until they pay their back taxes, and they can't pay their back taxes because they were closed down for 18 months for COVID. So you have no choice. So those people leave those cities because they have nothing left there. They go back with their other family members somewhere else, and the city takes that property. It's eminent domain. They do it all the time. At the store last week, and there were no chicken. We've seen it, dude. We've seen it. Our whole aisle right now, where pasta is completely wiped out in Walmart. Now, you can go to other stores. Here's the theory. Walmart is terrible to do business with. To do business in Walmart, if you have a product and you want it on an end cap, you have to pay them for having that end cap. You have to pay them for placement. They also jam you down on price. They want a way better price. They want to negotiate fucking 3-4 years in the future and lock a price in without inflation. So when things get tight and raw goods coming in the United States get tight and the manufacturer can only supply so many places, they cut off the dude who's paying them the least money and has the most amount of headaches. So they cut off Walmart. You can literally go across the street from Walmart to a grocery store and buy the shit Walmart doesn't have Almost always. What backs Bitcoin's value? More than fucking backs your U.S. currency. What do you think backs your U.S. currency value? See, every time somebody has that, tries to make that, what backs your dollar? Your $1,400 stimulus check. If you got your $1,400 stimulus check and you put it in Bitcoin, you'd have $67,000. If you put $1,400 in the bank account and you went to buy fucking eggs when you got your $1,400, today it buys 30% of the fucking eggs. The belief in it backs it. Countries invested in it is what backs it. There was more back in it than fucking meets the dollar. And you have countries. Why did we kill Gaddafi? Why did we invade Iraq? Why do we overthrow all these governments in Africa? Because they don't want to use the Petrodollar, which is the US dollar. Gaddafi was fucking amassing gold and was going to back all his own currency. It hurts your brain. That's okay, man. That's all right. You don't have to buy Bitcoin. Not at all. Do you know that they have debit cards where you can go to the grocery store and just use Bitcoin just like a debit card? Here's the better thing, right? Okay, so you have $100,000 in your bank and you want to buy something. You have to pay for it or you have to take a loan. Do you know if you have Bitcoin, there are major banks that will secure that into a secondary account, right? And give you a loan against the Bitcoin. That is a non-taxable event. You didn't spend the Bitcoin, you took out a loan. You don't have to pay any gains on it. Yeah, the petrodollar is the key to their con. It's fucking literally built out of toothpicks and it's not glued together. They should have left Hussein standing in power. He had the Middle East under control. Yes, you have slave trade of biblical proportion. You ever see the Bible studies when you're a kid, right? The kids' Bible, right, with all the slaves and all this stuff? It's worse than that right now. Did you ever see Gladiator? It's worse than that right now in Libya. The biggest slave trade in the fucking world. And you know it ain't all black people. There's white motherfuckers all through those slave ports. But we're not supposed to talk about that. All my funds are in ammunition for the next couple of years. Awesome. More power to you. Good. Dollar's lost 98% of its value. In 1971, a man working a minimum wage job or slightly better could afford a home and his wife could stay home and raise their 2.5 kids. After 1971, up until 1971, everything you had appreciated. In 1971, everything you had to work more and more and more. Now you have to have two people working. And now you have to have fucking 30-year-old kids living in your house because they can't afford to go anywhere else. Everything has devalued. The only people that got rich were the elite rich. Since 1971. Why is that? What happened in 1971? You think Fort Knox is full of gold? Do you believe that? How come you can't go see it then? I was born and raised in Philadelphia, but the city became a toilet bowl. Yeah, man. All right, guys, I'm out of here. You guys have a good night. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for talking. We'll do it again probably tomorrow night. We've got some new products to check out. If you're not on our email, do it. Get on our text app. You get about an hour advantage. That's why a lot of stuff sold out. Every night, guys are like, hey, you forgot to put this online. I didn't forget to put it online. People bought it before you got there. It was more important to them. How do you deal with depression? I don't have depression. I don't understand depression. I've been to prison. My wife fucked the neighbors and my friends while I was gone. When I thought I was coming home, I was served with divorce papers and a restraining order and literally didn't have any driver's license or social security number because my wife never brought them to me. When you go to prison, they send all your identification and all your personal belongings home to your family. My family didn't come get me. So I'm in a halfway house thinking I'm about to see my family and go back to my business that I'd spent over a decade building, to find out I have a restraining order and I can't go to my business and I can't go home. So I go to my bank and I can't access my bank account. I then find out that all of my personal bank account had been fucking changed. My business had been changed. My wife had power of attorney. So then a couple weeks later, I have to go to a child support hearing. And the judge says, well, you made $100,000 last year and the year before, each year while you were gone in prison, because that's what my wife made, and she filed joint taxes. So the judge tells me, while I'm literally home a few weeks from prison, working 3 part-time jobs to not be in the halfway house, and at 3 part-time jobs, I'm barely taking home $1,000 a month. The judge tells me I have to pay $2,500 in child support. I don't understand depression. People have it, don't know how to deal with it. I stay busy and I move forward. I've had everything and I've lost it multiple fucking times. I don't do what anybody tells me I should do. I don't ask advice from people who are less successful than me. I look at what people do. And everybody that I look up to and I look for business advice from, they've never played the safe route. They literally have no fucking choice but to succeed, because we remember what it's like to be hungry. I remember what it's like to be homeless. I remember what it's like to not drive the car in front of my shop for a month because I didn't have gas in it. So what did I do? I slept on the floor in the shop. I ate MREs. I got fat, gained 20 pounds eating MREs for a month, and I stayed there and fucking worked until I had the money. I don't have time to be depressed. I fucking just work. When you're depressed, fucking move. It's the last thing you want to do. Get up. Get up and fucking move. When you move your body, it releases endorphins. You can take everything away from a man. You can put him on a ship in the military. You can put him in prison. You cannot take away his ability to work on fitness. When you work on fitness, the mental shit comes with it. I think that people do have depression, but I think a lot of it's a fucking excuse for laziness. Just like, I'm scared to fail. You're not scared to fail. You're scared to start. Get around better people. I think we keep a lot of motherfuckers alive in the world, and it takes away from a lot of other people. And I don't have the message that guys want to hear. I'm not the soft, touchy-feely dude, but I can tell you how to do shit. But most people having the conversation, they don't want to do shit. I'd like to hear a conversation between you and Dave Ramsey. I think Dave Ramsey's a fucking full of shit. He'll tell you how to get out of debt 100%. But all that bullshit advice he gives you on investment, that motherfucker has fucking millions of dollars and he has people handling his money. You have debt you need to get out of, follow his program. You want to make money, forget all about Dave Ramsey. I'm on the email list while you do this. We bribe you. We bribe you. I need everybody on as many social media platforms as possible, so I have a clear line of communication with I only need 1,000. I only need 1,000 true fans, 1,000 true customers, 1,000 true followers. That's all I need. I only need 1,000. That's why we bribe you. Hey, I'm on Getter. Go get on Getter. Hey, I'm on MeWe. Go get on MeWe. We're gonna put I put all the new photos. Whenever I post something out new, I put it on MeWe first. MeWe still works like YouTube and Facebook used to, right? When I post something, if you want to know I posted, you will always know. Facebook shows motherfuckers I'm live 3 days after I already did the video. MeWe works. So people that really want to buy things that I make, they're on MeWe and they follow me. Same with Getter. I just need clear lines of communication for when I get banned or locked up other places. And that's why I do that. The text app, if my fucking website goes down, I still have clear line of communication with you. If I get banned on Facebook, I still have clear. I can't even do a video. I can do a video. It looks like my limit on video is 3 days a week, and there's no rhyme or reason as to what days it is. So I just stopped doing it. All my MeWe shit today, they merged all this shit, and now it's Meta. I'm not doing that. I'm preparing to leave Facebook. I'm preparing to leave YouTube. You know, Dan Bongino, they fucking banned all of his accounts and deleted all his shit on YouTube. People are tired of this shit. They banned Don Bongino, had 900,000 followers on YouTube. So he goes full-time to Rumble. He has 2 million followers. What does that mean? That means there's more people following him over there than on YouTube. That means that possibly 1 million of those followers already left YouTube over this shit. We're just covering our asses, and I bribe you to do it a little bit. Everybody does this shit. I just tell you we're doing it. Wasn't DuckDuckGo bought out? It wouldn't fucking surprise me. DuckDuckGo does not work like it used to. Do I ever do meet and greets at the events? Yeah. We have parties where upwards of 900 people have shown up, right? I spend $20,000 bringing bands in. I spend $6,000, $7,000 bringing food trucks in. The last 2 events we've done, all I have done is personal one-on-one hang out and talk to people and walk the property and show you all of our projects. Some people are scared to succeed. I don't believe that anymore. I think that's a bullshit excuse because they're lazy, and that's the excuse they use, right? They'll cry in public, they'll cry on video, make their fucking whatever. It's attention. They just want the attention. Not all of them, most of them. It's not fear of failure. It's not fear of anything. They're lazy, and rather than, that's the new excuse. That's the code word for lazy. I was already a millionaire when I came home from prison. Flat broke. Didn't have a vehicle, didn't have access to shit, right? I had 3 fucking jobs delivering pizza in my sister's Dodge Dakota truck that had fucking super Flowmaster exhaust. Loud as fuck. Driving around doing pizza. 3 delivery jobs, right? Because that kept me out of the halfway house. I was working 80 hours a week. Being a fucking millionaire. Went from fucking helicopter and Ferrari to Dodge Dakota, right? Rented 2 sewing machines. No, I bought 2 sewing machines. No, I did rent 2 sewing. Rented 2 sewing machines. Called up my suppliers and said, hey, you guys know I was gone. I'm back. You know we've done millions of dollars. I don't have any money right now. I need you to believe in me. I need you to send me cut samples and boxes of fabric and webbing, whatever partial rolls you have, anything that's come unrolled off the roll, just put it in a box and send it to me. I go, I promise you, we will do millions of dollars of business again. They sent me some scraps. I built some shit. I made $900-some thousand the first year I was fucking home. That's what the judge said. Well, you've made this money in the past. You have the potential to make it again. I guess he was right. I have no fucking time. Like, I'm not entering into the conversation. I don't want to hear the complaints. I don't care what the excuse is. You stay over there and be mediocre, but you're not getting access to me because you're contagious. Don't be surprised if it's exchanged, gets outlawed again. What are we talking about? If you want great search engine that doesn't record or track, try start page. There's another one. I can't think of the name of it right now. Brave browser. Once commodities start ripping and they lose control of the silver paper markets, it's going to get wild. Looks like you're getting low on space. Have you considered another building? 2020 Tesla. Do you really drive a goddamn Tesla? Like, if you do, we can't even have a fucking conversation here. No, I've never thought of adding another building. Not at all. I mean, just 30 minutes ago, I just told you that I had another 5,000 square foot building to add on to this 10,000 square foot building. And that doesn't even consider the 6,000 feet upstairs or the other 4 outbuildings on the property. Yes, of course, I've thought about adding a building. And I know you didn't mean that to get an asshole answer. I don't drive a Tesla. Still burn and die. Okay, guess we can be friends. All right. People are like, why don't you get a Tesla? I'm like, because I go places every weekend that a Tesla couldn't get me there and back from. All right, guys, I'm out. Have a good night. Thanks for bullshitting with me. If you need something from me, send me an email. If you found anything entertaining or of value, share this video with somebody, man. Just be like, hey, we talked about this thing. Here's the video. I don't need you to buy my products. Somebody else probably already bought them before you even had access to them. But you were here, and we just did this for probably 2 hours. I have fucking 2,600 plus videos. I put out multiple videos every week. Just share them with somebody. That's all I need. That's all I need from you is just fucking take it and give it to somebody that might be of interest. Good night, guys.